So I see human, I was about to read the following. I was about to read the rest. So I read the heading. I read the heading, and I was about to tell you where we are. So I'm going to tell you we are at human and social development. But that's what is before me. All right. So that once again clarity has been sought and responded. We are at housing program. Member of Parliament, Honorable Orlando Tertiary, St. Catherine East Central, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine East Central Social Housing Program 24-25, budget $1 million, Social Development Commission. Honorable Delroy Chuck, St. Andrew Northeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northeastern Additional Housing 24-25, $1 million, SDC. Miss Crystal Lee, St. Anne Northwestern Project Type, Human and Social Development, St. Anne Northwestern Additional Housing, Social Housing, 24-25, $1 million, Social Development Commission. Mr. Delroy Slowly, St. Elizabeth Northeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Northeastern Additional Social Housing, 24-25, $2 million, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Mr. Donovan Williams, Kingston Central, Human and Social Development, Kingston Central, Additional Social Housing, 2024-25, $1.9 million, SDC. Mr. Julian Robinson, St. Andrews Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrews Southeastern, Additional Social Housing, 24-25, $1 million, SDC. Honorable Favor Williams, St. Andrew Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Eastern Additional Housing, 24-25, $2 million, Social Development Commission. The Honorable Olivia Grinch, St. Catherine Central, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Central Additional Housing Assistance, 24-25, $1.5 million, SDC. Miss Carencia Morrison, St. Catherine Northeastern, St. Catherine Northeastern Additional Housing Assistant 24-25, $1 million, Social Development Commission. Mr. Clifford E. Warmington, St. Catherine Southwestern Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Southwestern Additional Social Housing, 24-25, budget $2 million, SDC. Warmington. Dr. Andrew Wheatley, St. Catherine South Central, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine South Central Additional Social Housing Assistance Program, 24-25, $1 million, SDC. Mr. Philip Henriquez, Clarendon Northwestern, Human and Social Development, Clarendon Northwestern Additional Social Housing, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Miss Rhoda Moy Crawford, Manchester Central, Human and Social Development, Manchester Central Social Housing, 24-25, additional $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Mikhail Phillips, Manchester Northwestern, Human and Social Development, Manchester Northwestern Additional Housing, 24-25, $500,000 Manchester Municipal Corporation. Honorable Floyd Green, St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Southwestern Additional Housing, 24-25, $2 million St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Honorable Xavier Mean, St. Anne Southwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Anne Southwestern Additional Social Housing Project, 24-25, $1 million Social Development Commission. Miss Anne-Marie Vaz, Portland Eastern, Human and Social Development, Portland Eastern Additional Social Housing, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Honorable Dr. Norman Dunn, St. Mary Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Mary Southeastern Additional Housing, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Miss Tova Hamilton, Trelawney Northern, Human and Social Development. Trelawney North Additional Social Housing Project, 24-25, $1 million SDC. Mr. Daniel Lawrence, Westmoreland Eastern, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Eastern Additional Social Housing, 24-25, $1 million SDC. Honorable Edmund Bartlett, St. James East Central, Project Type, Human and Social Development. St. James East Central Social Housing Additional, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Honorable Homer Davis, St. James Southern, Human and Social Development. St. James Southern Social Housing Additional, 24-25, $1 million SDC. We move to education. Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, St. Andrew Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northwestern education enhancement, 24-25, $6 million SDC. Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Northwestern Administrative Assistance Fund, 24-25. That's what.
She's saying they're in the wrong place.
We don't have any more education.
I guess that's one.
Economic enablement. Right. Administrative Assistant, Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwestern, Project Type Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Northwestern Administrative Assistance Fund, 24-25, $1.5 million Social Development. Honorable Frank Witter, St. Elizabeth Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Southeastern Administrative Assistance Funding, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Emergency and Welfare. Mrs. Juliet Holness, St. Andrew East Rural, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew East Rural Additional Emergency and Welfare, 24-25, $1 million SDC. Economic enablement. Honorable Orlando Terlang, St. Catherine East Central. Economic enablement, St. Catherine East Central Economic Enablement, 24-25, $600,000 SDC. Honorable Delroy Chuck, St. Andrew Northeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northeastern Economic Enablement Rehabilitation, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Mr. Philip Enriquez, Clarendon Northwestern Economic Enablement, Clarendon Northwestern Economic Enablement, 24-25, $1 million SDC. Honorable Xavier Mean, St. Anne Southeastern Economic Enablement, St. Anne Southwestern Economic Enablement Assistant Project, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Miss Crystal Lee, St. Anne Northwestern Economic Enablement, St. Anne Northwestern Economic Enablement Assistant, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Julian Robinson, St. Andrew Southeastern Economic Enablement, St. Andrew Southeastern Economic Enablement, 24-25, $780,000 SDC. Honorable Favour Williams, St. Andrew Eastern, Economic Enablement. St. Andrew Eastern Economic SBAP, 2024-2025, $1 million SDC. Mrs. Juliet Holness, St. Andrew East Rural, Economic Enablement. St. Andrew East Rural Economic Enablement, 24-25, $2 million SDC. Dr. the Honorable Christopher Tufton, St. Catherine West Central, Economic Enablement. St. Catherine West Central, Economic Enablement, 2024-25, $1 million Social Development Commission. Mr. Robert Miller, Economic Enablement. St. Catherine Southeastern Economic Enablement Support Program, 24-25, $1 million SDC. The Honorable Olivia Grange, St. Catherine Central, Economic Enablement. St. Catherine Central Economic Enablement, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Miss Carencia Morrison, St. Catherine Northeastern Economic Enablement. St. Catherine Northeastern Economic Enablement, 24-25, $1.5 million Social Development Commission. Mr. Clifford E. Warmington, St. Catherine Southwestern Economic Enablement. St. Catherine Southwestern Economic Enablement, 24-25, $3 million SDC. Dr. Andrew Wheatley, St. Catherine South Central Economic Enablement. St. Catherine South Central Economic Enablement, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Lothan Cousins, Clarendon Southwestern Economic Enablement. Clarendon Southwestern Economic Empowerment, 2024-25, $2.5 million SDC. Miss Rhoda Moy Crawford, Manchester Central Economic Enablement. Manchester Central Agriculture Support, 24-25, $1 million Rural Agriculture Development Authority. Miss Rhoda Moy Crawford, Manchester Central Economic Enablement. Manchester Economic Enablement Project, 24-25, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Mikhail Phillips, Manchester Northwestern Economic Enablement. Northwestern Manchester Agricultural Development Program, 2024-2025, $2 million RADA. Honorable Franklin Witter, St. Elizabeth Southeastern, Economic Enablement, St. Elizabeth Southeastern Production Incentive, 24-25, $3 million RADA. Mr. Delroy Slowly, St. Elizabeth Northeastern, Economic Enablement, St. Elizabeth Northeastern Economic Enablement 24-25, $1 million, St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Miss Anne-Marie Vaz, as she appears, Portland Eastern Economic Enablement, Portland Eastern Economic Enablement 24-25, $3 million SDC. Honorable Dr. Norman Dunn, St. Mary's Southeastern Economic Enablement, St. Mary's Southeastern Economic Enablement Additional 2024-2025, $1.5 million Social Development Commission. Mr. George Wright, Westmoreland Central Economic Enablement, Westmoreland Central Economic Enablement, $3 million Social Development. Mr. Daniel Lawrence, Westmoreland Eastern Economic Enablement, Westmoreland Eastern Economic Enablement, $1 million SDC. Honorable Edmund Bartlett, St. James East Central Economic Enablement, St. James East Central Economic Enablement, 24-25, $1 million SDC. Mr. James Robertson, St. Thomas Western Economic Enablement, St. Thomas Western Economic Enablement Program, 24-25, $3 million SDC. Mr. James Robertson, St. Thomas Western Human and Social Development, St. Thomas Western Additional Social Housing Program, this one is for housing, 24-25, $1 million SDC, James Robertson. Sorry, $1 million. And it's SDC. Morning, dear. Did I read Dennis Daly? I never read Dennis Daly.
You mean just now?
Yeah. So, sorry, we have a little. What happened is that the paper pin was slipped onto two. So I read Mrs. Holness, but I didn't read Miss Denise Daly, St. Catherine Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Eastern Additional Welfare Assistance, $2 million SDC. Sorry? For her? No, I don't see anything more. You have a Members, just for clarity, I will read the education projects once more. Just for clarity and for Hansard's sake. Miss Crystal Lee, St. Anne Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Anne Northwestern Education 24-25, $6 million. Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, St. Andrew Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northwestern Education Enhancement 24-25, $6 million SDC. Miss Anne-Marie Vaz, Portland Eastern, Human and Social Development, Portland Eastern Education Project 24-25, $9 million SDC. Homer Davis, Honorable Homer Davis, St. James Southern, Human and Social Development, St. James Southern Education Support 24-25, $6 million SDC. Honorable Delroy Chuck, St. Andrew Northeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northeastern Educational Development 24-25, $5.5 million SDC. Mrs. Juliet Holness, St. Andrew East Rural Human and Social Development, St. Andrew East Rural Educational Assistant 24-25, $6 million SDC. Miss Denise Daly, St. Catherine Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Eastern Education Assistant Program 24-25, $7 million SDC. Honorable Dr. Norman Dunn, St. Mary Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Mary Southeastern Education 24-25, $5 million SDC. So those are the outstanding. All the projects that are before us. So all projects are, Madam Rochester, all the projects that you brought are here? All right. At this time, we move on a minute to any other business.
Chairman, last week in any other business, the matter of Labor Day was brought up. I don't know how many of our MPs were advised. Yesterday an advisory was sent out that the maximum is 750,000, but you can choose anywhere below that. You know what our Labor Day activities funds should be spent on. That was also in the instructions that were issued. And this is not additional money. This is coming from your budgetary allocation. Thank you, Member Robinson.
Sorry, Madam.
Yeah, Chairman, I just want to inquire a little further in terms, because I got a notice last week in regards to the 3 million additional for Tertiary. So I would love if Mrs. Rochester could give us an update now in regards to how we proceed.
What I can say thus far is that we're working on receiving the funds so that we can disburse. I'm encouraging members and those who are not in the House presently, ensure your projects are in for the additional $3 million so that when the CDF PMU is in receipt of funds, all we have to do is disburse. I have noticed that some members have already had their projects submitted to the office, so we are waiting on others to do the same. And just for clarity, Member Williams, this $3 million was announced by the Honorable Prime Minister to help tertiary students. It's a maximum of $200,000 that each beneficiary can get or receive.
It's the same thing. So we had gotten something from the Minister of Education with details for each person to go on a website, complete an application. That's the same process. Because that's what, you're not aware of that document because something was circulated to us last week, which is a bit different from the normal CDF process where we would submit the names, etc. It's a little more involved. The persons have to do 100 hours of community service, etc., and go on a website and do an application, upload your thing, which I'm a little concerned about the bureaucracy involved in that process. And I'm, given what we normally do, I know it's not your call, but I would strongly recommend sticking with what we normally do. But what I saw last week in terms of the application process is very involved.
And that's what I was alluded to in terms of getting this document. So I really wanted to get some clarity because I do not know if it was an additional $3 million or it was the same $3 million that the Prime Minister mentioned in his presentation.
Let me get back to you, Member Daly, on that. And committee members, we're still working out the dynamics of that to say what route through the funds come. But let me get back to you. I don't want to speak out of terms. I know the Ministry of Education has some tertiary assistance, and I heard the Prime Minister's announcement. I've not gotten any instructions as yet, but if it is two separate funds, rest assured that you'll be duly informed and you know your CDF processes.
But is it CDF or is it?
Is that for the meeting?
Yes, Chairman. I'm just saying it cannot be because the Prime Minister, when he make this statement, he did not say anything about any hours of giving back and on all those details. So I would have taken it that it is two separate entities. So I'm going to ask for us to get proper clarity in order that we'll be able to advise our constituency and to make sure we put the projects in place.
So CDF is saying to us this morning that they will definitely get back to us as to if it is two different funding, and if it is not, then the process that it will take. So give them until then, maybe another week or so to. But in the interim,
Speak to Minister Williams and the Ministry of Finance and get back to the committee.
in the interim, if the response from both persons or both ministries are you get them before, then you can send us a memo document until we get to the next meeting date.
Yes, it's not supposed to be returning to you.
Any other business? Date of next meeting? Give us a date. Next Tuesday, the 21st at 11:30 a.m. is going to be our CDF meeting. I do hope that my prayers will once again be answered and I will see many lovely faces on time. If there is no other matter,
And then 2. What about 12?
No, them have another committee after this.
Oh, a committee coming at 12?
12:30.
Oh,
That's the problem.
it kills my day.
That's the problem. You have to
You
go back on.
can't do nothing with 1 hour in between.
If things are at play right now, we can look at if it's every week that this committee meets at 12:30. It's not every week. But what it means then is that we will have to pay attention to the notices, and sometimes the committee members do not respond. So we just set a set time, so whether you respond or not, you know the meeting is scheduled for a certain time. But if you guarantee us that we will get some responses when the notices are sent out, I have no problem going to 12. Next week, Tuesday, we're hearing now that next week, Tuesday is not available. Can we move for the Wednesday? No, we can't go to the following Tuesday. Can we go for the Wednesday instead? Do you have Parliament on the Wednesday? So we're going to skip that Tuesday and come to the other Tuesday then? What time is available for
we have
next
to make
week?
sure that the Tuesdays that are Wednesdays that we are asking for, that Parliament is in session.
Is Parliament in session next Wednesday? So to the best of the clerk's knowledge, at this time, next week, Wednesday, Parliament is on. So why can't we meet just before, like on a Tuesday? If Parliament is on,
But I said it earlier, madam. The date that we are going to be setting for the next CDF meeting should be a day that Parliament is in session. So, therefore, if it is confirmed that the meeting, Parliament is sitting the 21st or the 22nd, then we can always assign.
Just a quick question, because the clerk is saying that next week, Tuesday will not be available for the entire duration or what period?
For that time that we would be normally have.
Yeah, but.
Hold on. So there's a meeting set for 10 o'clock, internal and external affairs, and then there's a standing orders meeting for 12:30.
What is happening at 9 o'clock?
Nothing.
Unless you'll find a time to get here at 9 a.m. And if all right, here where we go. Hear it. As is suggested, that we pay close attention to our email messages.
No, but it's best to set the meeting here, though.
I am told by the clerk that the meeting date has to be set.
No, not that it has to be set, but it's better to agree on it. As far as I know at this point, but based on a preliminary schedule that I received about 4 weeks ago, but then if there's nobody to speak, it might not happen.
And so, the argument sticks. The argument, members, the argument stick. Once Parliament is sitting either Tuesday or Wednesday, you pay attention to your email and the memo will come out to you. The advisor will come out to you. Members, are we all agreeing on that? All right? So final, once Parliament sits next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, and the time is available, the advisor will come out to us and we will so attend. Those who read it first, just call a member to say, have you seen, so that at least we are on the same page. All right? So the date is set. If there is no other matter to address, we ask that the motion be moved by Member Daly, seconded by Robinson, that the meeting now stands adjourned.